If you want to talk about a true fighter's fighter, you have to talk about Khabib Nurmagomedov. The man is an absolute force of nature inside the octagon. But when you're facing a guy like Iaquinta, who's tough as nails and willing to fight on short notice for a title, you know it's going to be an epic battle. Khabib was unstoppable, but could Iaquinta, the underdog, find a way to upset the odds? Khabib wasn't just fighting for a title in UFC 223. This was about his legacy, a chance to cement his place as one of the greatest lightweights of all time. And as for Iaquinta, the pressure was on for him to prove that he belonged in this championship fight despite being a late replacement. The stakes were high, and both men were ready to make history. So, let's break it down, round by round, and see how Khabib earned his place at the top of the UFC lightweight division. This is Khabib's path to the belt, and it was nothing short of a clinic in domination. Before we dive into the action, let's set the stage. Originally, Khabib Nurmagomedov was supposed to face Tony Ferguson in what many thought would be the most technical, high-level fight in the lightweight division. But a freak injury to Ferguson pulled him from the fight. Enter Max Holloway, a former featherweight champion who stepped up on short notice to face Khabib. But Holloway was pulled from the fight for health reasons, leaving Iaquinta, a New York native, to take the fight on just a few days' notice. Now, you might think that a guy like Iaquinta, who wasn't originally slated to fight for a title, would be at a huge disadvantage. But Iaquinta is known for his grit and his heart. This was his shot at the top, and he was going to make sure he brought everything he had. The weight of the world was on Khabib's shoulders. He was a favorite, sure, but could he maintain his perfect record and get past the fiery challenge of Iaquinta? Round 1. Khabib starts strong with his signature control. The fight kicks off, and the first thing we notice is the difference in styles. Khabib Nurmagomedov, in his red trunks, wastes no time applying pressure. From the start, Khabib is focused and intense, stalking Iaquinta like a predator. Iaquinta, in blue, is trying to keep his distance, but you can see his chin is a bit high, and that's dangerous when you're up against someone like Khabib, who can close the distance quickly. Khabib doesn't waste any time. 1 minute into the fight, and Khabib gets the first takedown. It's not flashy. There's no extra flair. It's just pure, raw strength and persistence. Iaquinta manages to scramble a bit, showing his resilience. But Khabib's control is something else. Once Khabib gets you to the ground, it's almost impossible to get back up. Iaquinta's efforts to recover are commendable, but Khabib isn't letting him breathe. Khabib's ground game is a spectacle of its own. He moves from half guard to full mount in no time, and when he's on top, there's no escaping. Iaquinta tries to fight back with a Kimura from the bottom, but Khabib's position is just too dominant. Every time Iaquinta thinks he's got a chance, Khabib's pressure and strength shut it down. The crowd is going wild as Khabib lands heavy strikes from the top, with elbows and fists that are starting to wear on Iaquinta. At the end of the round, Khabib's superiority is clear. Iaquinta's face starts to show signs of damage, particularly with some swelling around his left eye from the constant ground strikes. Khabib isn't just controlling the fight. He's dismantling Iaquinta's defense, one position at a time. And the round ends with Khabib solidifying his position as the aggressor. Round 2. Khabib's pressure and precision. Round 2 begins, and Iaquinta is still standing, but he's looking more and more like a man who's being broken down. The first round was difficult, but this round looks like it could be even more so for him. Khabib's ability to mix his strikes with grappling continues to give Iaquinta no space to work with. Each time Iaquinta tries to land a strike, Khabib is right there, either closing the distance or getting the takedown. Iaquinta tries to catch his breath, trying to land that clean punch, but Khabib's pressure never lets up. Every time Iaquinta tries to fight back, Khabib is there to either get a takedown or control him in the clinch. It's not that Iaquinta isn't skilled. He's just facing someone on a different level, a man who's perfected this style of relentless, suffocating pressure. At one point in the second round, Khabib drags Iaquinta down once again, and it's back to business. Iaquinta tries to use the cage to help him get up, but Khabib is too strong, too skilled. Once again, he finds himself trapped under Khabib's weight. The frustration starts to build for Iaquinta. Khabib moves to full mount with ease and begins to land brutal strikes to Iaquinta's face. Iaquinta is showing heart. He's tough and resilient, not willing to just quit. But Khabib has his number. With each minute that passes, the skill gap is widening, and Khabib's ground and pound continues to be relentless. The fight is becoming more one-sided, and you can see that Iaquinta is starting to gas out. He's having trouble finding any space to move, and he knows that if he doesn't get out from under Khabib soon, this fight could be over. As the round winds down, it's clear that Khabib is in full control. Iaquinta is still there, still fighting, but it's obvious who the better man is tonight. The crowd can feel the momentum shifting. Khabib's title is just one round away. Round 3. Khabib turns up the heat. Now, into the third round, Iaquinta's fatigue is starting to show. He's slower, more labored, and while his technique is still sharp, it's hard to get anything going when Khabib is always in your face. Khabib is now blending his striking with his wrestling even more effectively. He lands a few solid jabs and then transitions seamlessly into the clinch, where he controls the fight against the cage. You can tell Khabib is getting more confident in his striking, testing the waters. He's no longer just looking for the takedown. He's mixing things up, making Iaquinta think about everything. Every time Khabib lands a clean punch, you can see Iaquinta's resolve start to fade. Khabib's patience and precision are paying off. Then, out of nowhere, Iaquinta lands a clean right hand. It's not a knockout blow, but it's enough to remind Khabib that he's still in a fight. The crowd erupts, and you can almost hear Iaquinta's corner urging him to capitalize on this moment. But Khabib isn't rattled. He's been hit before, and he's taken those shots with ease. Khabib presses forward again, forcing Iaquinta back against the cage and shooting for another takedown. This is Khabib's world now. Control, pressure, grind. Every time Iaquinta tries to recover, Khabib is there to stifle it, pushing him back down to the ground. Khabib's strength and control are just too much for Iaquinta to overcome, and as round 3 comes to an end, it's clear that this is all but over for the challenger. Khabib is simply too good at everything, from striking to grappling to controlling the tempo of the fight. Round 4. The title is within reach. With each passing round, Khabib's dominance becomes more apparent. Round 4 arrives, and Iaquinta is clearly exhausted, looking like a fighter who's just trying to survive at this point. Khabib isn't letting up. He's relentless, landing strikes and takedowns at will. He doesn't rush for the finish, but you can see that he's starting to impose his will on every aspect of the fight. Khabib locks in another takedown. No surprise there. He's not trying for anything flashy. It's pure, methodical control. Iaquinta tries to scramble, but it's clear that his body is fighting a losing battle. Every time he moves, Khabib's right there, controlling his body and his movement, positioning himself like a seasoned grappling master. Iaquinta has no answers for Khabib's ground game. Khabib works from position to position, not giving Iaquinta any space to breathe, let alone try to escape. The title is within Khabib's grasp. He's already shown his skill on the ground, but now he's also mixing up his striking, showing that he's more than just a grappler. His confidence is oozing, and you can see that he knows this fight is all but won. Round 5. The final bell, and Khabib's victory. By round 5, it's all but over for Iaquinta. He's tired, he's bruised, and though he's showing an incredible amount of heart, it's just not enough to match Khabib's relentless pressure. Khabib has been doing exactly what he does best, controlling, wearing his opponent down, and slowly picking apart his defense. Khabib finally gets another takedown, transitions into full mount, and starts looking for the submission. Iaquinta, despite everything, is still fighting, but it's clear his will is being broken. Khabib locks in the rear naked choke, and it's just a matter of time before it's over. Iaquinta fights it, showing his toughness, but in the end, Khabib is too skilled. The referee steps in, and with 3 minutes left in round 5, Khabib is declared the winner via unanimous decision. He's the new undisputed UFC Lightweight Champion. What a performance! Khabib didn't just win the title, he redefined dominance in the UFC Lightweight division. His ability to control, his pressure, and his efficiency were on full display tonight. Iaquinta showed heart, resilience, and toughness, but Khabib's game was just too much. Khabib's journey to becoming the UFC Lightweight Champion wasn't just about skill. It was about the relentless drive and commitment to his craft. Tonight, he cemented his place as one of the greatest ever. What did you think of Khabib's performance? Was it the dominant display we've all come to expect from him? Or did you think Iaquinta had a few tricks up his sleeve? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more UFC breakdowns and fight analysis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.